Hello, Sunshines, and welcome to deValiante Plays Coffee Talk by Toge Productions. You're a barista, brewing coffee and having heart-to-heart talks with fantasy-inspired modern people's problems and helping them by serving up a warm drink or two. Warning, this video contains strong language and imagery that some may find disturbing. Discretion is advised. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Welcome. I don't care. We're gonna do this first. I don't think anything has changed. Nope. But, this one. Did I? No, I didn't read that one. Okay, so we have 3 stories to catch up on. Loving in Silence. It was a Saturday night. As usual, I gotta bring my mic closer to my mouth. It was a Saturday night. As usual, I picked her up from her apartment for another Saturday night date. Wow, immediately I start yawning. I used the word another, but to be honest, this was the first actual Saturday night date we've done since I don't even know when. It wasn't every week a cool event related to our hobby happened. So we, or I suppose I should say, weren't going to miss the chance for a cozy evening in her apartment. We'd only been dating for 4 months, and I kid you not, we couldn't have been more different. I'm the type of person who feels restless if I don't go out on the weekend, while she preferred to lock her apartment. Jesus Christ. Stop yawning. While she preferred to lock her apartment from the inside, flush the key down the toilet, and never leave again. Same, bestie. That's why me going out to her apartment on the weekend was the fairest option for both of us. I mean, we can just order food online and chill without having to worry about the traffic. Ain't that cool? That's what she said whenever I asked if she wanted to eat out somewhere. That happened a lot in our first month together. After that, I just tried to get used to it. We drove to the event. It wasn't that far, but traffic's always ridiculous on the weekend. Throughout the drive, we barely spoke. Total silence except for the music playing from my playlist. If she knew the song, we would sing along to the song. If not, then total silence it was. When we arrived at the event, she changed. She became the most outgoing, friendly, and talkative person around. Even I was nothing compared to her, and I usually consider myself a very talkative person. We said hi to everyone we knew, and some we didn't. Then we tried all the games being showcased there. We sat next to each other, trying one game after another, commenting on the story, the art, music, gameplay, atmosphere, any other aspects you might use to judge a game. But when we played, we just played. No talking during the playthrough, total silence, as if she was recharging spent energy from all the interacting she'd done before. I mean, sounds about right, yeah. Back in her apartment, we didn't talk much. She made 2 cups of green tea latte for both of us, and then we watched Netflix together, with only a few words traded. Don't you feel bored dating me? She asked. Really? This again? I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to bring this up again, but you were so silent today. I thought you were mad at me. Honey, I'm not mad at you. Why would I be? I don't know. It's just that I'm super introverted, and you're super extroverted, and there are times when I feel like I'm holding you back from your true self. You're just overthinking things, honey. Tonight was amazing, and I can't thank you enough for being willing to join me and sacrifice your stay-at-home relaxation time. We both know how much you love staying in, and how rarely you get the chance to do it. Why do you like me? You've asked this question a dozen times in the last 4 months. You know, I nudged her and smiled. I just wanted to make sure, she said, and started crying. Hey, don't be sad. It's okay. And to answer your question, I don't know why I like you. That answer again. Because it's true. All I know is I feel comfortable around you. I just feel happy, calm, and I don't know. Do I need to know? That sounds dangerous. liking someone without knowing the reason. Oh, believe me, dear, I was confused for the longest time before I realized. It's actually the best feeling I've ever had. How about you? Why do you like me? Who said I liked you? I was speechless for a moment. She grinned at me and giggled through the remains of her tears. You should have seen your face. Oh my god, don't mess around with me like that. You almost gave me a heart attack. Good. It means you weren't lying about your feelings, she smiled. You haven't answered my question. It's a secret. That's not fair. I told you mine. I hate to break it to you, but don't know is not a proper answer, my dear. But it's an honest one. I know. We stayed silent again. So that was my introvert girlfriend and me. My answer to her was obviously a lie. Not knowing why you like someone is super scary, but I never imagined being able to feel like that for anyone other than her. At least that's how I wish things could be, I thought as I drove back home alone in my car in total silence. The only reason to learn how to fly. Hydration break. It happened again, I told her as I exhaled smoke. What? I took the train once to get here and fell in love twice. Not this again, she sighed, looking like she wanted to stub her own cigarette onto my face. I just can't help it. She said nothing. It's way easier, seeing someone from afar, letting your imagination roam as you daydream about how he or she lives, ignoring the fact that what you see is not the way they really are. It's way easier. You can't keep doing this to yourself. You know you need something real. I mean, this might be a stupid suggestion, but you're still using that dating app, right? Try to be more open-minded while you use it. I agree. Good. I agree that it was a stupid suggestion. She looked pissed. I couldn't blame her. It's not like this was the first time we talked about this. In fact, this conversation tended to happen around once a season. You need to stop overthinking. Go out and stop putting impossible expectations on people. You know I can't do that. I've tried. I get overexcited at any opportunity. And how's that served you so far? Now I was the one who said nothing. I'm afraid, I said. Of what? Of what will come after? I'm afraid that even if I find the right person for me, the people around me won't accept them, whoever they are. Fuck the people around you. Another stupid suggestion. I could be jailed for that. Okay. She took a long drag of her cigarette and narrowed her eyes at me. What happened to you recently? Huh? You don't usually overthink this much, so something must have happened. The truth is, something did happen. Something too silly to even be discussed. But she knew me. She knew about my problems, so I told her. I watched a stand-up comedy show. Seriously? It's true. I watched one of my favorite stand-up comedians. I knew he recently got married to someone he loved, someone I thought was very similar to him. All this time, I thought he took the easy way out, finding someone who'd quickly be accepted by the family he was born in and the family he's about to make. But it turned out his journey was far from easy. There were hardships I never knew he faced, and when he talked about it, it scared me. Why? The fact that I'll have to deal with it someday, the fact that I might have to choose between, I sighed. At least when I see people on the train and imagine life with them, those imaginary people don't create these kinds of problems. They create a different kind of problem, though. She's right. Sometimes I feel like I want to go to this tallest building in the city and just jump, I said. To die? That's not to fly, you fool. Because if that really happened, all the things that were scaring me won't matter. I can fly. Why the hell should I still care about all these boring everyday problems? Ain't that the dream, weirdo? She said, and she lit another cigarette, leaving the discussion unresolved until it comes back around with the spring rains. Happily Ever After, Ever After, Ever After, Part 1. Ooh, we get a two-parter, or a multi-parter. Do I want to grow old with you? No, I don't want to do that. But I do want to be with you, here in this moment, stuck in internal limbo, in the infinite loop of this exact hour. Forever? Hell yeah, I do. That's probably the last time Romeo remembers having a really meaningful conversation with Juliet. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, dear readers. Just like any other story, this one also has a beginning, and it begins with an introduction. Romeo is a young man of 20. He comes from a quite conservative, but not yet out-of-touch family. In other words, they're just like almost every other family in the world. He hates the name his parents gave him, and he hates it even more, knowing that his life so far is fulfilling all the cliches of his fictional namesakes. Falling in love with a girl named Juliet is really just the icing on the cliched cake. Juliet is a young woman of 20. Well, at least they upped her age. She also comes from a quite conservative, but not yet out-of-touch family. In other words, they're also just like almost every other family in the world. She loves the name her parents gave her, although she hates the fact that her life so far is fulfilling half of the cliches of her fictional namesakes. Falling in love with a boy named Romeo is unfortunate, but she has no plans to die stupidly over it. Both of them study at the same university, and they're definitely not the type of people who'd naturally choose to be friends. Fate, however, in the form of a hip young lecturer with an over-enthusiasm for assigning group projects and an unfortunate sense of humor, is what brings them together. A simple group assignment is what introduces our young Romeo and Juliet to each other. Even after their first fated meeting and the many more meetings required to finish the assignment, there's no sign that Romeo means anything more to Juliet than a friendly acquaintance she's spent a lot of time in the library with. Nor honestly does she mean that much more to him. In fact, after she made an ill-judged joke about the literary elephant in the room, she probably means significantly less. But as time goes on, and as the group assignments keep coming without the lecturer even assigning new partners, Romeo and Juliet become closer. They both begin to see things in the other that they hadn't noticed before. Though for Romeo, that fact is rather frightening. How could I fall for somebody like her? And named Juliet, no less? I can't accept it. My mind's just playing tricks on me. Again and again, around and around, his thoughts chase themselves whenever he sees her. The day is Monday, and Romeo has a class he needs to attend. However, something is different. Normally a relatively anxious fellow, he finds going to a class requires a lot of willpower. Today, however, he finds himself hurrying to get there. He knows why, of course, but he refuses to admit it to himself quite yet. The first thing Romeo does when he opens the door is to look at a specific table, the table where Juliet always sits. To his unacknowledged disappointment, the table is empty. Fuck, mutters Romeo under his breath. He doesn't curse because Juliet is not there, of course. Rather, he curses because noticing this was the first thing he did upon entering the room. After sitting in his usual place, Romeo reopens his book and begins reading. Every time someone opens the door, Romeo turns immediately to look and quietly whispers a curse. Again, he's not cursing because he is disappointed it is not Juliet who enters. He is cursing because he turned to look. A few minutes before the class begins, Juliet finally arrives, announcing herself and her friend with a braying laugh as she does so. That sound used to be one of the most annoying sounds in the world, at least as far as Romeo was concerned, but today it brings a small smile to his face. Fuck, curses Romeo again after he realizes he just smiled at the sound. Is Romeo in love? He probably is, but he doesn't want to admit that. Falling in love with Juliet is dangerous. Extremely dangerous. They come from completely different backgrounds. They have different skin colors, and they worship different gods. He has no problem with interracial relationships, of course he doesn't. But he never expected it to happen to him. It simply will not do. I need to talk to you. Romeo looks up. Juliet is standing over his table. Oh, that was her. Oops. Her jaw is set, but her eyes are worried, and he completely forgets all about his own problems. What's up? He asks. Can you keep a secret? It's really important. Sure, I guess I can. Good enough, because I really need someone to talk to. So Juliet sits down and begins telling her story to Romeo. She talks about the problems she's been facing over the past few months, how they affect her study, about how he's not the first person she's talked to about this, on, and Romeo listens to every word. Eventually, Juliet stops talking and sits quietly. Romeo thinks that she looks somehow lighter than she did before she began talking. He doesn't know how to react to what she told him. He tries giving her some advice. Really stupid advice, he thinks as soon as he has said it, but he believes it's probably much better than just listening and nodding and watching her walk away. He doesn't think he wants her to walk away from him. He thinks about this. One thing is for sure, Juliet trusts Romeo as a friend. They shared a secret now, even though Juliet has shared the same secret with others. Before him, this still makes Romeo happy. So damn happy. How pathetic am I, being happy because someone I like came and told me she's not. Romeo thinks and then shakes his head like a dog shaking off water. After sharing everything she said she had wanted to share, Juliet starts talking about lighter topics. Soon they are joking freely, and the dark mood of the earlier almost completely dissipated. Just before Juliet leaves, Romeo asks her something. Why did you tell me all that? I don't really know. I think I can trust you, and you're one of those rare few people who can talk to people directly without sugarcoating everything. It's refreshing, she shrugs. I guess that's why. What Juliet said is true, but Romeo finds it amusing that even though he normally speaks directly to everyone he knows, he can't do that with Juliet. He is not himself when she's around. Or so he believes. After the conversation, Romeo falls even more helplessly in love with Juliet. It's stupid, he thinks, as someone who rarely falls so hard for anyone, but Juliet is driving him crazy, and the fact that she makes him feels the closest thing to love he's felt in years. Yet a big wall of cultures, norms, and other societal traditions stand between them. Hurts him even more. That is, of course, if Juliet is even into him anyway. As weeks go by, Juliet and Romeo become closer. They start telling each other stories more often, but all of these stories are limited to their courses, their friends, and anything at all besides their feelings for each other. She's not into me. She's just an extrovert. She's really friendly with everyone, Romeo keeps thinking. And it's when he's thinking about that suddenly Juliet comes and sits at his table. So you said you wanted to tell me something? It's true. He has already sent a message to Juliet, telling her he wanted to talk about something. Oh wow, diving right in. It's nothing all that important, actually, says Romeo. Come on, it's not like you to be so indirect about things. What's wrong with you, boyo? Romeo actually called Juliet to talk about her attitude recently. She's been weird, at least in Romeo's eyes, and it feels like she's getting further away, removing herself from any student activity she usually partakes in. Juliet answers all his questions, all his thoughts and concerns about how she seems to be removing herself from all other side activities. She manages to shrug off, or at least explain, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm obsessing over every single little thing she does, thinks Romeo, while a pit opens up in his gut at the thought. Is that all? Anything else you want to say? She questions him. Fair is fair, after all. Do you know that I used to like you? The words come from Romeo's mouth out of the blue. He's horrified, even as he recognizes that it's a lie. He still likes her now. He doesn't even know why he decided to confess his feelings right at this random moment. Never mind why he confessed with half a lie. It wasn't planned at all, but when he heard Juliet say anything else, well, it's definitely one thing Romeo has been planning to say to Juliet for the last few thousand eons, whereas normal humans measure time since around 8 months ago. Juliet shows a flash of surprise and then says, "No, I had no idea at all. Why? Why what? Why do you like me? Or did you like me? I mean, there must be a reason." Of course there is. Romeo opens his mouth to tell her and pauses. He blinks slowly and closes his mouth again. Or not, I don't know. I think there is, but I'm not sure. I'm sorry, I'm talking gibberish. Juliet does not respond to that. Romeo doesn't even dare to look at her directly, but he can see out of the corner of his eye that she looks dumbfounded. She takes a breath and opens his mouth again, hoping for a lightning strike. Divine inspiration or instant death. He isn't picky. Okay. I see you as a really strong person, okay? You have a big girly side, but you're also a really strong independent person because apparently those two can't be interconnected. Tell me this was written by a man without telling me it was written by a man. Okay. I get the girly part, but what makes you think I'm strong? Well, just look how you work with all of your assignments and organizations. I definitely could never deal with everything as well as you do. Ever. Come on. Everybody has something they're good at. You can do things I can't. That's pretty normal, you know? I know, but still, I'm not sure. That's probably what attracts me to you the most. When he says that, Romeo tries looking at Juliet, just for a moment. He saw a twitch of a smile on her lips, but dared not even hope. He ascribes it to his imagination instead. "So, what's next then?" asked Juliet. "To be honest, I don't know. I said this because I can't keep hiding it forever. I needed to say it to you, even though I know it's impossible for me to ask you out considering all the differences between us." Juliet pauses. "Oh, of course. You don't need to say anything, though. I just needed to get it out of my system, that's all. That's all I wanted to say." "Well, okay then. I have something else to do. You don't have anything more to say, right?" "Yes. No. That's all." Juliet nods and says goodbye, then quickly walks away. After Juliet leaves, Romeo lets out a heavy sigh. Good work there. That's one hell of a lot of old baggage I just let go, and a whole hell of a lot of new baggage I replaced it with. Here's an interesting fact about our Romeo. During the whole conversation, he hadn't been able to keep himself from shaking. It's an old habit that he just can't let go of. To his relief, they'd been sitting during the whole conversation, so he could hide his tremor. Still, even though he feels intense relief after telling Juliet about his feelings, his hands are still trembling. He has to wait a couple of minutes before he can walk away himself. So now, after Romeo's long-awaited but ultimately useless confession, what's next for our Juliet and her Romeo? Funnily enough, neither she nor Romeo ever mentioned it again, at least not to each other. Romeo did eventually tell some of his friends about his feelings for Juliet, but what about Juliet? Romeo didn't know anything about how she was coping with this revelation. He expected that she'd probably told some of her friends, as he had told his. But that doesn't even matter, he tells himself. We're not meant for each other anyway. Watching from the outside, nothing seems to change between them. They still talk about their classes, about their friends, about shows they've watched and the books they've read, but they never ever mention again the time when Romeo revealed his feelings to Juliet. At first, Romeo had thought that confessing his feelings would mean letting go of a big boulder inside his heart. As it turned out, it only transformed the boulder into a restless rock monster, asking for more. Eventually, he realizes letting Juliet know about his feelings isn't enough. He needs to have her. He wants to hold her tight. He wants to stare into her eyes and tell her he loves her, to Pluto and back. He wants to hear her say, "I love you too." He wants to kiss her. He wants to run away with her to a place where no one cares about their differences and just sees them as a cute couple in love. He wants to do all the things in life together with her and more than anything on this earth. He simply wants her. The feeling is killing him. How could she be acting normally after that revelation? Does it mean his feelings mean nothing to her at all? The peak of his emotions come one day when our hero is falling asleep. Suddenly his body is drenched in sweat and his heart beats too fast and his thoughts only run to one thing. Juliet. He wants. No, nothing so prosaic. He needs Juliet. He doesn't care about anything else, about the traditions, about their families, about anything. There's only one thing he needs to do tomorrow, and that is to confess his feelings again to Juliet. This time, however, he's going to ask her out. If he feels the same way, he will ask her to just give it a try and fight the world together. He resolves that he is going to take a leap of faith, and it will be the first thing he does the next time they meet. To be continued. Dun, dun, dun. Whew. Stretch, stretch, stretch. I really gotta keep up with those stories. Welcome. Good evening, Mr. Bailey's. Evening. Am I the first customer tonight? You are. That's new. Freya's not here? She said she's coming later tonight. Got something to do with meeting some fellow writer friends. Why not do it here? It's her favorite place, right? Her friends have visited this place from time to time, just not as much as her. Writers gathering, huh? I wonder what writers talk about when they're hanging out. I've known them for some years now. She has this habit, you know? If she said they're friends, it means they're just hanging out normally. But if she said they were writer friends, they're probably talking about work. Either giving each other feedback on their latest drafts, or sharing and validating ideas. Interesting. They even use code words for meeting up. Oh, it's not like that. She doesn't even realize that's what she says. I just picked up on it. That's even more interesting. Are you always so observant? It's part of the job. Why is that? People come here every day. Some of them aren't as talkative as others, but their body language can be loud and clear. It can tell you a lot of things, whether they need a friendly ear or just want to be alone. It applies to what they're ordering as well, because you know, sometimes what people want is not what they need. That's deeper than I would have thought. So, what are you reading from me now? I won't say. Why? That would break the charm. The hell was that? I guess I can say this much. Whatever I say or do to our customers, it's always related to what I'm getting from their body language. Including our interaction now. Man. No, I see why you didn't want to share. Even that was enough to make me feel like I'm naked in front of you. Ew. By the way, I haven't ordered anything. What are you having tonight? Hot chocolate with ginger and cinnamon. I heard that's a good drink for a bitter heart. Alright. Ginger and cinnamon. Brew it. Da-na-na-na. Serve it. There you go. You're a pretty romantic person, huh? Spending extra time decorating this drink? Barely. Only for special people and special drinks. Say, Diva, tell me about yourself. What do you want to know? Anything. How old are you? Old enough to open a coffee shop? Oh man. I guess I should say sorry for asking that. It's alright. But that's the only answer I can give. Now you're making me wonder. What should I ask next? Isn't it your not girl? Oh. Hello, everyone. You alright there, Freya? Why are you both looking at me like that? Freya, you look horrible. No, I don't. Yeah, you do. No, I don't. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to echo our dear barista. Yeah, you do. What happened? You better be asking what didn't happen. Because the answer would be proper sleep and decent progress on my draft. You need to rest. And miss my deadline? Hell no. Sorry, Baileys. I won't be able to keep you company, because I have to finish this thing. And for that, I'll need a whole lot of espresso. Are you sure about that? You really should just rest. Get something to help you sleep. Espresso! Please. Espresso. I don't want to do this. You really need to have a rest, Freya. Just give me the damned espresso! Okay. This'll keep me from falling asleep. How was the meeting? It was pretty good. I got a lot of good advice, but that also means things. And not the small number of them, mind you. Need to be rewritten. Oh. It's not that bad. Rewriting is part of the process. It's just that... I'm going to my usual corner. Thanks for your coffee. I might make it through the night. She looks horrible. She does. But don't worry about her. She'll finish it. This isn't the first time she's acted like this. No. But this time the stakes are pretty high. So, what brings you here today? I'm not even sure myself. I had no plan tonight, and this place just came to mind. Out of the blue. I'll have to thank your subconscious then. I guess you should. This is your girlfriend and it's her birthday. Not sure whether I should thank it or not, though. Hi, Lua. Hi, Baileys. You first. No, you first. I was just gonna ask, how are you doing? I'm fine, thanks. How about you? I'm good. Yeah. I think I need to order something first. Oh, of course. Go ahead. Hi, Diva. What are you having this evening, Miss Lua? Gingerbread coffee, please. Okay. So that would be coffee. I'm assuming ginger and milk, but I'm gonna look it up because I want to get it right. Oh, ginger and cinnamon. Okay. Didn't he have like something similar? No, he had a chocolate. Here it is. Thank you. My grandma used to make this drink for me. It reminds me so much of her. It reminds me of when I was growing up with my family. How's work? It's going pretty okay. You? I'm not taking any new jobs on at the moment, because, well, you know. Yeah, I get it. You have enough in your savings, right? That's a very Lua thing to ask. But yeah, I do. Thanks to that last annoying job. It went well in the end. It kinda did. They paid me on time at least. And the pay was amazing. How long are you planning to take a break for? I don't know. Until my problems are settled, I guess. And what problems are those? I'll tell you this. And don't tell anyone, okay? Not even Diva, who's standing right in front of us? Not even Diva. Okay. So, there's this girl. I love her. We've been going out for a few years. But I'm not really sure where we stand now. How can you not be sure? We had an argument about a week ago. It wasn't anything new. But somehow, things escalated uncontrollably. Why is that? I assume both of us were just tired, knowing that we were fighting against centuries of tradition. We haven't really talked since our last fight. Leaving things unresolved is not a good idea. But I can't bring myself to start the conversation. Why? I'm not sure about that. Even I'm not sure about that. Pride, maybe? Or tiredness? Or knowing that chances are we won't be able to find the best solution for everyone anyway? Baileys. I have a question. Go ahead. What do you think she's feeling right now? To be honest, I don't know. She's not like me, that's for sure. Thankfully. Why? At least it won't affect her personal life as professional life that much. I'm glad I'm a freelancer. It means I can just take a break from work without so many problems. I'm not a professional as she is, you see. I think you're wrong. Really. If I were her, I would find it difficult to live life as usual. But I put on a lot of masks. Just to hide the feelings I was going through. That sounds difficult and uncomfortable. It is. But a friend told me once, you gotta do what you gotta do. He must be a pretty cold guy. He is. What's next for us, Baileys? I don't know, Lua. I met some new people this week, including that supermodel. You knew? That girl in the corner told me. Yeah, including that supermodel. And how does that make you feel? Like a fool? What? I said a lot of things that I've been trying to avoid thinking about. A lot of truths. He said he's a bit like you know? Attitude-wise. You'd get along with him. I doubt it. Opposites attract, but similarity breeds contempt. Ever heard that before? A lot. From a certain hipster elf. And after listening to that guy, what's your stance on, us? I'm not sure, Baileys. What about you, yourself? Had any similar experiences this week? I have, in fact. You met a vampire and I met a werewolf. What are the odds? What are the odds indeed? What did your werewolf say? Not much, to be honest. But he made a good point about the importance of family. Bailey's. I know I've been stubborn about you wanting me to make peace with my family. And I know why that's important for you. But Freya said something that kind of hit me hard. What was that? I was just using you as an excuse to escape my family. When I actually want to do that anyway. For myself. You know me, Bailey's. I do. And you know how I feel uncomfortable with people leaving their families. Which makes me an asshole, I guess. I get why you think that way, Lua. Blood is thicker than water. What should we do? Yes, Bailey's. Please let me leave my family. I'll try to get your family to accept me. That sounds like the easier thing to do after all. But you'll lose your immortality. You'll be an outcast among other elves. An outcast from a bunch of overly pretentious people? Sounds great. You'll live a long time. But you won't have the perfect health and the perfect life that's the elven privilege. It's not a perfect life without you. What if our relationship doesn't last? You'll have lost everything. You'll blame me. Lua, I will never blame you for anything. If we're talking about who I used to be, that guy would never have blamed himself. 100 reasons for why something failed, but never anything to do with him. But that won't happen with us. You know why? Because I've learned so many things by being with you for 10 years. It made me a better person. So, you don't need to worry about any of that. Because right now you're the most important part of my life. I don't need an immortal life. Because without you, it won't be life worth living. Bailey's. I believe in you. Oh, Jesus. Oh, why bright lights? Love of my life! Oh, cool. We finished Lua and Bailey's arc. Lua. Bailey's. I feel like we're living in a soap opera. It seems so. So what's our plan? Tomorrow is Saturday. And today is your birthday, and nobody has mentioned that at all. Are we going on a date? I'm going to my parents' place. Oh. And I want you to come with me. What? That's so sudden. Did you already have plans for tomorrow? Well, no. It's just, I'm not prepared to meet them. You'll be fine. You don't want to tell them about this first? It'll be alright. Well, they never forbade you from dating other races? They're not big fans of elves, but that much is true. But you can prove them wrong. Okay. This could be a good first step. It is. It's set then. I don't know what will happen tomorrow, but we can think about it. And anything else? Later. I'm with you on that. So, does that mean you don't mind me? I had my doubts. And now I'm sure I can trust you. Lua. Thank you. Are you still staying at Farron's house? Yeah. You're staying with me tonight. Huh? What about your roommate? She's away for the weekend. Taking a long weekend getaway until Sunday night. Fate is on our side, it seems. Hey, Diva. Yes? We're leaving. Okay, bye! Thank you so much for keeping up with us this past week. The pleasure was mine. We're off then. See you. Thank you for coming. Let me look at this. So we are best friends with Bailey's. Hi, Freya. His favorite things are punk. Been listening to Pumpkin Spice since I was a wee lad. What I'm doing with my life. Escaping bloodlines, experience life one color at a time. Okay, that's weird. One day I will have my own solo expedition. Okay. So we just need to become friends with Gala, Rachel, Neil, which surprisingly enough we have like no experience with Neil somehow. I don't know. And then Hendry. My goodness, who is messaging me with a message? Cool. Oh wait. We did 2 new ones. We did the bitter hot. And we did the gingerbread coffee. That was pretty intense. Oh, you're back in the real world. I just pretend to not notice. They're like one of the main reasons why I'm writing this story. So I have to see their struggle through till the end. It's important for the writing, you know. That's cold. What? It's not like that. It's just that... Yeah, that was cold. I'm sorry. You look better than before, though. For now. I can't tell you how I feel until it's done. And I don't... A person! Oh, hello. Hi, Gala. Whoa. Okay, so, what is the... It's called the I've made the Galahad before, but, I gave it to the wrong person. Freya, get over here. This wolf. Is that him? I think so. Welcome, sir. Are you crazy? You can't treat a werewolf in a fury like a normal customer. Trust me. He must have his reasons for coming here. You can relax, sir. Do you need anything? Something to calm you down, maybe? The fucking remedy? Okay, it was tea, milk, and ginger. Yes, cool. Serve it. Here's your Galahad fit. Give it to me! Okay, bye. What the hell? Is that really him? After seeing the reaction to the drink, 100%. Well, whoever he is. Gala. This place survived. Thankfully, yes. But I think I need to close up shop early. Don't want to cause any more ruckus. And I need to clean up some of the mess anyway. Good idea. Can you get back all right by yourself? I'll manage. Take care of on your way back. You be careful too. See you tomorrow. See you. Oi. The bitter hot shadows that will help you try to hide. Thank you for joining me as I played Coffee Talk by Toge Productions. The next episode will be out shortly. If you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a like, a follow, and ring that notification bell so you know when a new episode drops. Also, don't forget to check out the link to the completely free Discord server to chat about games and whatever else is on your mind. Let's keep the comments chill so no hate or spoilers, as I'm not above removing those comments and the people who make them. That's all for now, folks, and I'll see you next time.